In this section of the video, we are going to be taking a look at how Windrose performs on Windows 11 compared to the other section, which is CachyOS. I am running a Ryzen 5950X, an RX 9070 XT with 64 gigabytes of DDR4 memory. In the main menu, we have 74 degrees Celsius, 14% usage for the CPU. We're looking at 5960 Celsius and 96% usage for the graphics card. VRAM, which is video memory, is sitting at 6.1, just under 6.2 gigabytes of usage. The RAM is at 19.7 gigabytes. That's system memory. The FPS draw is what goes from the game into DWM, which is the Windows compositor and scheduler. The FPS on screen is what comes out of the DWM, the compositor scheduler for Windows 11, which is 63. We're looking at 34 milliseconds of latency. We're going to enter the game. I'm going to go with my previous save. And we're going to see how it performs once I enter the game. I am running this in 4K, which is 2160p. We're running at high settings. VSync is off, and it's capped at 120 FPS. A little background on how things are set up. The version is 0.10.0.8.10 DD 411 CFD. That's the game version. The Windows 11 OS build is 26,200.894. It is also on the bottom of the video recording, so you can see it there. It's version 25H2, I believe. I'll have to double check and make sure it's accurate. Let me load up my settings just to double check that part's correct. Let's see. Yes, it's version 25H2. It's Windows 11 Pro. This is just for information purposes to catalog when the game was recorded. As you can see, GPU is holding around 96-97%, 56 degrees Celsius. CPU is at 74 degrees Celsius, 21% usage. VRAM's at 9.7 gigabytes. That's video memory. The system memory is 30.7 gigabytes. That's system memory. The FPS draw is bouncing between 66 and 70 frames per second with a 19 to 22 millisecond latency. Oh, I gotta go cook some food. My character's getting hungry. It feels smooth, but the latency is, the frame rate is a bit low. The latency is a little high. Because you'll want it around 12 milliseconds to get the true 120 FPS. Once it's around, 12 to 16.67 milliseconds for 120 FPS. Once it goes above 20, once it hits 20 and goes above, you're starting to look at closer to 60 FPS range. So your FPS and your latency are tied to each other. From what I'm seeing is the game looks pretty good performance-wise. It's stable, but if you want a higher frame rate, you have to lower the resolution. Now, I'm going to test this going into video. Borderless window, FSR, balanced. As you can see, VSync is off. 120 FPS. Quality preset, if I switch this to medium and apply it, now all of a sudden you should see it go up a little bit. Now if I change the resolution down, let's say, where's the resolution? Can I not set the resolution? Alright, so we'll go back to the... Oh wait, maybe I need to take it off of... Here we go. I just changed it to 1440p. We're looking at 9 in the high 80s, low 90s. Up, it went to 100. Now, if I change settings and go to, oh, I'm already on medium. So as you can see, it didn't. Oh wait, let's go full screen and let's change this to 1440p. Now we're sitting at 120 FPS. So I just switched it down from 4K to, which is 2160p. I switched it to 1440p, which is 2K. And as you see, we're getting 100 FPS to 120 FPS. If I put it on 4K, we're going to be at, let me see where we're at. We're going to be down around 80 FPS. And this is just changing the resolution, medium. Why this happens is you have to multiply the number of pixels from the height and width, and then multiply by 60 or 120 for the frame rate that you want, and that's the bandwidth you need to run it. I'm going to end the video here. It runs well for the FPS I'm getting. So you can get it to 120 FPS, but I would say realistically expect 60 FPS. Which isn't bad because I don't think it's going to be like a super intensive game where you need to have the first person shooter level frame rate, but it works very good. You can reduce or increase the resolution, the graphics settings that you want, find the best balance, but This is the video. It runs well. Now let's see. The other half's going to be the CachyOS side. And it's going to be a side by side, but I talked about Windows 11 side on this half. The other half is going to be the CachyOS side. And I'm leaving it here. In this part of the video, we're going to be taking a look at how Windrose performs on CachyOS. And it's going to be compared to the other part of the video with Windows 11 comparison. Right now, I'm setting it up to be 2160p, which is 4K. Upscaler's balanced. I have it frame gen off. FSR is the upscaler. It's in full screen. VSync is off. Frame rate limited to 120 FPS. The graphics quality is all high to start. This is a baseline. I may adjust it inside the game, but we're going with these specs at first. So right now in the menu, it's sitting around 100 for usage, 59. Let me rephrase that. The RX 9070 XT is between 94 and 100 for the utilization, 59 degrees Celsius, 3.1 gigahertz for the GPU, 320 to 330 watts. VRAM is 6.7 gigabytes. For the video memory, it's at 70. The video memory chips are at 74 Celsius. It's running at 1.2 gigahertz, or slightly above that. We're running Mesa 26.1.5-Arch 3.1 for the driver. AMD 5950X for the CPU. It's between 13 and 16% CPU utilization, 53 degrees Celsius, 4.7 gigahertz. The wattage is wrong. For this, it's not reading properly. The system memory, which is a normal RAM, 12.5 gigabytes for utilization. The VKD 3D FPS, which is the current, is sitting around 93 FPS at 10.8 milliseconds. Average is 92 FPS. The 1% low is 87 FPS. We're looking at roughly 9 milliseconds for the minimum. I'll say 12 for the maximum. It's running Proton Experimental -11.0 -2026-07-24C. Like I said before, the resolution is 3840 by 2160, which is 2160p 4K. It's a rolling release version of CachyOS. I have it down at the bottom left corner, but it also shows it in the benchmark tool, 7.1.5-1-CachyOS. So now we're going to hit play, go into We're going to go into a game, solo offline, and we're just going to play around with it. Now you will see the numbers go change while I'm playing it. We want to see consistency as minor changes as possible with the usage, temperature, frame rate, and latency. Anywhere you see MS for milliseconds, that's talking about latency. FPS is talking about frame rate. These two are tied indirectly, but having both is a useful metric because it shows how stable the system's running the games and whether there's a problem or not. So right now we're looking at 80 to 93 FPS, which is actually pretty good at 10 to 12 milliseconds. This is playable. I'm waiting for it to flush out because it was using the menu. I'm not seeing any issues with the performance, like it's fluid. It's showing a little bit better, the numbers are showing a bit better for CachyOS than Windows. Because on Windows it was like 18 to 22 milliseconds, which is concerning. And that's what you want to focus on more, because the faster the game moves between what you're seeing on the application level to what you see on your monitor, the better, because it gives you more real-time information. And it's saying that when I go to press E, for example, it picks it up within that millisecond window. Frame rate is all nice, but if it's not backed up by the milliseconds, which is the latency, then it isn't really that good either. As you can see, my GPU is almost maxed out, but it's still running smooth. And if I go into comment with this dodo. Oh crap, I'm getting attacked by another bird. Let's see. It's smooth, and if I run up, you can see that the combat is very good. Look how fluid that is. This game is performing well. I don't know where you could say this game doesn't perform well compared to Windows. It might even perform a little bit better. Now, I'm not saying to go out and switch from Windows 11 to CachyOS. All I'm doing is showing that CachyOS can handle games just as well as Windows. Some games might perform a little bit better on Windows 11. Others perform a bit better on CachyOS. Now, if you're worried about some games that may be anti-cheat enabled. It all depends on if the developer and the publisher allow for that game to run on certain platforms, because BattleEye and the others, the developer slash publisher can make it so it's toggled to where it doesn't allow the games to run on Linux. The CachyOS is capable of running just about anything, but it's whether the developers, whether it's their decision or the publisher's decision,